Hey everyone, back again with another video. This time, let's do a breakdown on all the mods that I've done on this beast so far. So I'm 2 years in, and let's take a look at everything. Texas Jeep Dad. So the first thing you can see right here is I've got the lift. This particular lift is a Metal Cloak Game Changer. It's a 3.5-inch Game Changer by Metal Cloak. Solid lift. It's my second lift on this vehicle. I started with a Rusty's 4-inch lift, and for me, it didn't work, and it was a little too high, steering issues, just things about that lift weren't the best for me. I switched over to Metal Cloak, zero issues. And you know, when you see the gold, you got the Metal Cloak. Now with my kit, I went ahead and ordered the rear sway bar reinforcement kit. Apparently, this bracket rips when you flex, or even sometimes when you don't flex. Just driving around, it can take a hard hit. So the sway bar reinforcement kit is a must. I also went ahead and added the diff cover. You can see right here, the rear diff. Metal Cloak. I really like the Metal Cloak kit. Control arms, shocks, everything. There's zero issues with this kit. Metal Cloak customer service is second to none. Next thing, let's talk about wheels and tires. So these are 37-inch, 37 by 12.5 by 17. These are KO2 BF Goodwrench. These are my second set of 37s. My first set of 37s was Toyo Open Country mud tires. They were about 30 to 40 pounds heavier per wheel. Each one just too heavy. So I'm running with the KO2s now. These have great tread and great on off-road matters. Next, let's talk about the wheels. These are fuel ammo. Not particularly expensive, maybe $1,200 or so in on the wheels. Tires they start at about $400 a piece, so sometimes you got to look around for the deals. But these wheels, 17 by 9, they're a -12 offset. The reason why you need a bigger offset is a negative offset. You run the bigger wheels and tires, they're going to rub. So you need to kick them out just a little bit so they won't rub. And especially when I flex out the suspension, this tire will go right up into the fender well, and I'll show you a picture. Next, Reaper off-road bumper, 625, made in America, heavy duty steel. I love this stubby bumper. I can flex it out on the trails. My tires aren't hitting. I got great clearance. It looks fantastic. Made in America. Again, I love this bumper. Next, let's go ahead and talk about my front end components. Obviously, you see a lot of shiny stuff. This is a drag link and tie rod. These are both from RPM. They're 2.5 ton. I probably didn't need the 2.5 ton. I think they sell 1 tons that are okay, but these aren't going to break. You can smash the hell out of them, and they have a great warranty with them. So if you have any issues, you go back. So I really like these RPM 2.5 ton. Right here you can see my Fox ATS steering stabilizer. I went ahead and went a little bit heavier duty, got a more expensive one. This is a pass-through, and it has adjustments. So there's 24 separate settings from looser to tighter. So you know when you're off-road and you hit those bumps and your wheels, your hand kind of shakes on the steering wheel like that, you can make this thing so tight so it won't do that. So it'll make it stiffer on the street, so you can turn it back down. So you can tighten it up or down. So I got it about midway right now. This has been a nice add to the vehicle. I really like the stabilizer. I thought it was worth the money. Next, ball joints. You can't really see them that great, but right here and then down here, these are Dynatrac. So these ball joints are heavy duty. They don't have the ball in there. So these things are built for abuse. They can be rebuilt on the vehicle. I don't have to take the ball joints out to rebuild them, but I shouldn't have any issues with the ball joints. Ball joints are known to fail, especially with bigger wheels and tires when you off-road it. Dynatrac ball joints, I think those were like 600. Next, I don't know if you can see that well. This right here is a sector shaft brace. So right up in here is the steering box, and it has a spline that comes down, and then your pitman arm, I believe is what it's called, goes onto that, right? And then that connects to your drag link. So this right here stiffens everything up and keeps this from flexing. So you can get a lot of flex in the steering box. So this is a huge metal, it goes around the track bar, reinforces that, and then it also holds the pitman arm so it can't move and flex. So this right here was maybe $250, and it did stiffen up the steering a lot, and I noticed the difference. This one's kind of a wild card. Just went into the shop one day and they had some Terraflex diff covers. So I went ahead and picked up a front diff cover because I was beating it up pretty bad. And this one's pretty cool. You can take off. It has an inspection, like a visual inspection too, where you can look in there. But I found this one pretty good. This is a Terraflex heavy duty diff cover. While we're under here, I forgot to talk about my gears. So I re-geared this thing before I even put the 37s on. So this thing is geared 513. I was choosing between 488 and 513s, but once I threw the 37s, the weight started rock crawling. 513s are perfect for me. I got plenty of get up and go from the light. I got plenty of torque and power to get up over rocks and hills. I see 8th gear all the time. Cruises normally, acts just like it did when it had the stock gears and the small tire. So re-gearing was amazing difference. So I highly, highly, highly recommend, if you don't have an eco diesel and you're just on a regular, even if you've got 410s, at some point you may need that larger gear. So I re-geared. I didn't know, so I went with Yukon. So I'm hoping they hang in there for the long term. I've got about 2,000 invested with gears and installation and a taser. So that was something I could not install on my own. I wouldn't do it on your own unless you've done it before. I'm probably going to run 1,500 to 3,000 depending on where you live in the United States. But it's worth it. Next, I have these sway bar quick disconnects. So they have these little pins. Pop those out, slide this off, and then you can crank this up and it clips right there. So this goes up. So my quick disconnects, I don't know, maybe those were 80 bucks. This next mod is my absolute favorite, hands down. I'm an old school guy. See, I got my amp right there, so you know what's coming up. You know what I'm talking about. Bam! So this is my Foxbox 10-inch. It's a ported box. It has 1.25 cubic feet of room volume. There's the port, and this thing beats hard. People hear me coming. I often am told, I can't believe that's only 110 that beats that hard. And again, it's a 500 watt RMS. I got a 600 watt RMS on the amp, so everything is running smooth and tight. And that's how I adjust the bass volume. I got a little bass knob control right here. I can crank that up and down. My subwoofer has absolutely been the best. I also have, you can see from my other videos, I put new tweets up in here, and I put 6x9s in the sound bar. So I took this sound bar off, took all this out, and you can see my video that I made on that one, and it's got the parts list and everything. So I put 6x9s in there. Everything is running off of the factory system. I don't have Alpine, I don't have fancy, nothing. So my amp is running off of a LOC line out connect, and here's my line out right here in the door. You take off the cover, and then my LOC is in here, and that gives me my RCAs, my preamp, and then I run my power and my ground straight to the battery. So I think it's the best budget setup for the best bang for your buck. So check them out. Foxbox Jeep Gladiator box. Next, let's talk about these rock sliders that I got here. So I bought these actually used from another person, and they have worked out great for me. So you can see I've beat the crap out of them. They're made by Infab, and they are beefy. They have protected and saved myself a few times from hitting the rocks. Now, I'd probably prefer something that's going to be welded onto the frame. I think that would be a better long-term solution, but for now, these are cool. They did come with steps that I could put on here, and they hang down so my wife and my kid could get in. When I had the 4-inch lift, I ran the steps, and now that it's 3.5, I don't really need the lift. Need the steps for this one. Next on the back here, I went ahead and modded. I got a new bezel so that I could add the extra tow hook. So now I've got the 2 tow hooks. I went red, just got them off of a Rubicon. So that was a cool mod. I got a video on that one. That was pretty inexpensive. Bed cover was one of my favorite investments. I use this a lot. I've taken it to the beach, keeps water out, very inexpensive. Who makes this one? Tiger. What was it, like 2 bills maybe? There it is. Tiger. And it was like 200, I think. I almost forgot. You definitely need a phone holder. So this is a bullet point phone holder, phone mount. This thing's cool. I really do recommend that. And to go along with that, don't forget about your dead pedal. I added one of those. And don't forget about seat jackers. I made a video on both of those, and it moves the seat up to make it a lot more comfortable. So those are 3 quick ones on the inside that I think everybody needs. All right, man, I think that's about it, dude. That kind of is a rundown of everything I've done in my Jeep so far. I probably missed 1 or 2 things, but you can see some of my videos of what I've done for my list and how to do it. And ask me questions. If I left something out and you need me to answer it, just put it in the comments below. I try to answer everybody. So again, thank you guys for watching. Texas Jeep Dad, I appreciate all my subscribers. Thank you guys. Have a great day.